All right, another day, another question. So today the question is by Harrison. Okay, so Harrison is actually asking a question about managing myopic amblyopia. So let's have a look. Now, how would you guys manage a 7-year-old patient presenting with right eye plano 6/6 vision and left eye with -6 and seeing 6/12 vision? So he said, I think we manage amblyopia first. Others would say myopia, but what do you think? Okay. All right. So, very good question, Harrison. Now, there's, of course, a lot of more information that we would actually want from this particular case that you're seeing. So, some things is like, is there any myopic progression at all? Or should that even be a factor seeing this? And 7 years old. Yeah. So, which one should we kind of manage? Okay. So, long story short, we should definitely manage amblyopia before we manage the myopia. Okay, but let's have a look at it in a much more comprehensive way. Firstly, in terms of this particular patient that you saw, Harrison, what's happening is that there's not only myopia, there's not only amblyopia, there's also anisometropia. So as we know, anisometropia, any difference more than 150 diopters between both eyes. So that's one thing to consider also. The other thing is to see what this patient is currently wearing. So if let's say I actually had a really similar case, not too long ago, and the patient that I saw, for instance, on his right eye, yeah, he was seeing plano, but on the left eye, currently in his spectacles, he was using a -650. Right, so I was actually quite surprised that he could like cope with that kind of vision. But to be fair, that did mention that like he feels that his son is not wearing the glasses as much in a way. What happened was that 6 months ago, when we saw this patient, the vision on the left eye, which was a poorer eye, just like your patient here, was actually about 6/7. And then after about 6 months now, it actually dropped to 6/12. So that was actually pretty concerning. Yeah. So the thing that we have to still consider is because it's a 7-year-old boy, and we want to make sure that we look at it a bit more comprehensively. Okay. But before we even get down to the management, what we need to really know about our patients who have myopia, anisometropia, and amblyopia is that usually with unilateral high myopia, there is an associated eye abnormality. So, what do I mean by this? So, this particular paper really nails it and shows us that for patients, so this is based on medical records of 48 children, all right, so aged between 4 months to 17 years. And they do have unilateral high myopia, 5 diopters or more, and they were like seen over like a 15-year period. Okay, so it's actually pretty long. And 45 out of 48 had unilateral axial myopia, meaning the axial length. Okay, one is definitely a bit longer than the other one, which happens to be very similar to the case that I saw not too long ago. Yeah. So what it says here is that okay, all but three of the patients had an ocular disorder associated with reduced acuity, central nervous system abnormality, or family history of high myopia. Right. So that was one of the things, that even when I was having a chat with dad about it, I was asking that, hey, I know that your child is currently being seen at a children's hospital, but is there any other issues that we should be aware of? Anything like systemically that the ophthalmologist has mentioned? And thankfully, none. So there was none of that they have really found out. That is kind of like a good sign to show that the myopia progression that we saw probably in that 6 months when he saw me. So his script was like a 650, then it went up to a 675 with maybe like zero point 0.5 sale. Okay, a bit of astigmatism, so it's not too bad. Now, I did measure his axial length. On his right eye, he was like a 23.84, thereabouts. And on the left eye, guess what? He was already at a 26. So, 26 point something anyway. So you can see that it's such a huge difference between both eyes. And, first thing that I was very concerned about personally was like, is there any pathology? So we took OCT scans of his eyes. Thankfully, everything's fine. It looks normal. Although the optic nerve did look a bit like stretched out in a way, like an oblong shape instead of it being circular as with the right eye. And that's one of the things that I was really more concerned about. Now, the next thing, that I feel like I should have done a bit better was to actually take a topography scan of the patient's eye, because this is for us to rule out any keratoconic or any keratoconus involvement in the cornea. There's no family history of it, but if anything, we just want to make sure that our patient did not have any of those. Okay. Now, next thing also is actually to consider something like contact lenses for the patient. Now, that was not keen on it. Okay, so that was like, look, my child is just 7 years old. Like, I'm not sure if he would be better with contact lenses. And it's really tricky because if you think about it, this particular child can see perfectly in one eye. He has 6/6 vision, no prescription at all in the right eye was a normal eye, left eye was one of the issues. Okay, so in the right eye, perfect vision. So just like what you're saying here, Harrison, perfect vision in the right eye, but only issues in the left eye. So that's why he's not as motivated to wear glasses. Now, I did kind of try to explain to the boy, but also explain to the dad as to why we should still wear the glasses, because we definitely want the vision to develop more in that left eye. If not, he won't be seeing too well. The fact that he was seeing 6/7 about 6 months ago and today is seeing 6/12 proves to me that his vision can actually still like get better in his left eye, which is his amblyopia myopic eye. But if we don't do anything proactive, then it might not work as well. Now, patching is still an option. Yeah, I did recommend that. Look, it'll be great if we can do like maybe 3 to 4 hours of patching a day to cover like the right eye so that we force the left eye to work a bit more. But he did mention that compliance was a challenge. So even when he was younger, the ophthalmologist from the children's hospital did advise for him to do patching, but even his mom and dad did find it a bit more challenging to implement that for his child. Okay, so this is just one of the things where we have to weigh all the options here. So the good thing is this particular patient of mine, he is actually fine to wear glasses. He does find it cool to wear glasses. So I told that, okay, here's our plan. He has to wear glasses all the time, every single time, apart from when he is playing any sports. Okay, maybe that's the only time where he is okay if he doesn't wear his glasses. But apart from that, he has to. Now, the other reason why this boy did not want to wear his glasses is because he felt that it was really tight on the temples and it hurts his nose. So this shows me that he might be growing out of his current frame that's a bit smaller, which is reducing the chance of him wanting to wear the glasses. Okay, so just take note of that. If your patient does not want to wear glasses, especially kids, try to find out the reason as to why. Okay, as to why they did not want to do it. Now, for some reason, if I did manage to convince the dad to like, hey, let's try some kind of contact lenses for your kid. So there's two different lenses that I would probably recommend. Number one is MySight. I'll probably start off with that because it's probably a bit easier, one eye in, done. Okay, but of course, Ortho K is still a very good option if, let's say, dad does not want him to be wearing the lenses when he's in school. So Ortho K can still be a great option for us. Okay, yeah. So if we were to talk and see about the lenses, parents are always concerned about one thing: safety. Are contact lenses safe? All right. So the thing is that you can assure parents that contact lenses are actually super safe for kids, and if anything, the chances of infection is usually in terms of like compliance, safety, and all that, it's a bit lower in kids, and compliance is much better in kids as compared to adults. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's have a look at a study here. Okay, so this particular study was done, let's see, when was it? 2008. And this is about, yeah, contact lenses, microbial keratitis in Australia. So what is like the prevalence of it? So we can see from the results here. So they actually did a lot of contact lenses. Okay, so this is comparing the incident, okay, the annualized incident. So how many incident happens in a year per 10,000 wearers of the lenses in a way. Okay, so as we can see here, so in daily contact soft lens contact lens wearers, the incidence is 1.9 in 10,000 wears. So it's actually very, very small. Okay. And if you talk about, okay, daily contact lens wear, so what's the difference here between daily contact lens wear and daily disposable wear? This might be like monthly lenses, but these are the daily lenses in a way. All right. So as you can see, it's actually very comparable. Okay. Let's not talk about the overnight use and whatnot, because those are usually a bit higher in a way. Okay. Yeah. So, but if we just compare like all these factors here, you can actually tell parents that, hey, the risk of infection is actually pretty low in contact lenses. Okay, so it's just to kind of like assure them a bit more that contact lenses is actually very, very safe. Okay, now let's have a look at this other one right here. This is to do with microbial keratitis. In when we talk about CRT lenses, or actually ortho-K lenses, corneal reshaping. All right, and what we can see here is this. All right, you guys can read through all this, but I just want to point out the last bit here. The estimated incidence of microbial keratitis, all right, is 1.39 per 10,000 patient years. All right, and for adults, for microbial keratitis is almost zero. Okay, but basically, what we can see here is that risk of microbial keratitis is actually very, very low. All right, 10,000 patient years. That's like a super long time. So basically, all right, if I get this right, what it means is that if the patient were to wear the ortho-K lens, all right, in a period of like 1,000 years, they might only have a chance of getting an infection once. That's how low the probability is. Okay, so this way you can reassure parents that, hey, contact lenses are actually very, very safe for kids if that's something that you want to consider for your kids. Yeah. So coming back to this, yeah, Harrison, thank you for the question. Very good question again. That's how I would solve it. And for my patient, what we did in the end was that we actually just got off with glasses for now. So I got him just to wear his glasses, to wear it a bit more, patching on the right eye, and then we'll review in 3 months' time just to see if anything has changed or anything has really become much better. Okay, so that's how I would personally manage it, and I would agree. Let's treat the amblyopia before we treat the myopia. The other thing also is that I did give that a brochure about myopia management so that he can read through it, and we also gave him a quote actually for like the myosmart glasses, because if let's say the child and dad is not as super keen on contact lenses, at least we know that, okay, let's say if we manage to get his vision, this child's vision, to maybe 6 7 in the worst eye, that hopefully we can then have a look at myopia progression, all right, and try to slow that down a bit more by using the smart glasses. Okay, of course there's the stylus lenses that we can have a look into, or also myocare from size. So these are all great spectacle lenses option. So do what works well for you and what is available at the place where you practice. So I hope this helps, and I'll see you guys in the next one.